Good evening and welcome to ABC 31 News tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Riverfed weekend is here. Details on all the fun is our top story tonight. From music to food, the event will have it all.
We are excited.
Bigger and improved and just exciting.
Yeah, exciting. Big bands this year. Robert Randolph, Eric Krasno. Bigger entertainment, better crowds. We're looking. I'm not even going to say the W word because it's we don't want to jinx this weekend, but it's going to be great.
Here's a list of some of the fun this weekend. The 3-day Riverfed is starting tonight with signature dishes served by area restaurants. Artists, vendors, and performers will showcase the arts, continuing throughout the day tomorrow. Sponsored by the Alexandria Museum of Art, this parade of lights helps to kick off the Fete and Dragon Boat races tomorrow. Head to the levee to see the start of the Dragon Boat races Saturday morning at 8:30. And almost everything is underway by 9 on Saturday morning, including the races, the Art Fete, Classic Car Fete, art activities for kids, and more. For more information, check out alexriverfete.com. And hopefully some nice weather will stick around for all the Riverfed activities this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers is here with your weather now.
Hey Scott, yeah, definitely going to enjoy some very nice weather here the next several days. A little on the cooler side today, may keep some cool temperatures around for our Friday, but by the time the weekend rolls around, dry weather, sunshine, and warmer temperatures getting back into the 70s and 80s by Saturday and by Sunday. Here's a look at our high temperatures from today. Mid to upper 60s in most areas here late this afternoon. Did make it up to low 70s down to our south, but also had a little breeze out there too. Winds were gusting as high as 30 to 35 miles per hour, adding a little extra chill to the air. And it looks like that chilly air will hang around at least one more day. So as we head into our Friday, it'll be a little bit warmer than today, probably at least back to 70. By the time we get to Friday afternoon, mostly sunny skies expected. Looks like some beautiful weather for the weekend. Again, a lot of sunshine expected both Saturday and Sunday. Dry weather continuing too, and really don't see a lot of rain chances maybe the next 7 to 10 days. Not a lot of rain chances here in central Louisiana, so we'll have some time to dry out from all the rain we've been seeing here the last couple of days. So we'll talk more about that with your full forecast coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Chris. The overnight storm at the peak caused 11,000 Cleco customers to lose power. As of this morning, that number had been reduced to about 4,000 customers. The majority still waiting for restoration are in South Louisiana, most of them in St. Tammany Parish. Cleco officials say they brought in 10 additional contractor crews to help with that cleanup and the power restoration. And the storm system that came through yesterday dropped a ton of water on Acadiana. As the rain poured down, the Bayou de Can began to flood. The Acadia Parish Sheriff's Office is urging residents to stay off the roadways. The City of Eunice and St. Landry Parish government entered into a cooperative agreement to assist residents needing to protect their property. Deciding what's best for the state of Louisiana might lead to a constitutional convention. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips speaks with a local attorney who took part in the last convention, which was held 44 years ago.
Voters approved the Louisiana Constitution in the year 1974. The last constitutional convention was in 1973, 44 years ago. After 44 years, the state is looking at holding a constitutional convention in the year 2019. Chris Roy Sr., a local lawyer, recalls the 1973 convention that he took part in.
The legislature decided after 51 years that the document that I just showed you, the old 21 Constitution, had outlived itself. It didn't have an equal protection clause for interests. It didn't take care of the rights of small people and whatever have you. So the legislature passed the act to create the Constitution of 1973. The entire document was finally adopted in January of 1973 or 74.
Mr. Roy was in the middle of a tiebreaker during the convention and has a hand-drawn memory from that time.
They drew a picture of this, a cartoon, with me sweating it out because for the first time in the entire convention, there were 57 people who voted for the retirement system and 57 who voted against it.
When asked about the possibility of another constitutional convention, he stated his concerns.
My judgment is it would be almost impossible to create a new constitutional convention as broad as was created in 72 and 73, which would allow the comments and whatever have you that we allowed then. Today, because of the partisanship, which doesn't make much sense to me.
Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
NSU has named its new president, and he's already a familiar face. Acting President Dr. Chris Maggio. He's a 1985 graduate of the school and also earned his master's degree there. His doctorate is from Grambling State University. Today is National Prayer Day. Alexandria Mall welcomed the community to a prayer service to bring people together from different backgrounds. This is the 65th annual National Prayer Day. Millions of people across the U.S. were expected to unite together in prayer. Alexandria has a new business. Earlier today, T&L Mobile and Detailing held its ribbon cutting at the Chamber of Commerce office. If you're interested in their services, you can contact Thomas Dubrock at 318-955-1786. It is a good idea for Louisiana gardeners to incorporate some native plants into their landscapes. On this edition of Get It Growing, LSU Ag Center horticulturist Dan Gill introduces you to Henry's Garnet Virginia Willow, a Louisiana native and a Louisiana superplant selection of the LSU Ag Center.
I always like to encourage Louisiana gardeners to plant native plants in their landscapes as much as possible. And this is a really great native plant I'd like to show you here today. This is called Virginia Willow. The Latin name is Itea virginica. Now this cultivar is Henry's Garnet, and Henry's Garnet Virginia Willow is a Louisiana superplant selection for this spring. It's a really outstanding native plant for the landscape. These plants will grow in well-drained average soil or soggy wet soil. This is actually planted in the rain garden here at the Hammond Research Station. It'll tolerate that wet, soggy soil really well, so this is a great plant to use in low areas, around ponds or by creeks. A really lovely plant. Now, it has a gradually spreading growth habit, gets to be about 3 to 4 feet tall over time, and it will spread using underground rhizomes. So it's a really nice plant for a wild, wooded area, a naturalistic garden, where it can spread and form its beautiful little thickets and colonies. Now, this was cut back hard in the late winter to rejuvenate it and get it back in shape. So it's grown up vigorously, but it's not blooming this spring the way it normally would. This is what the flowers look like. These wonderful spikes of white flowers that droop down. They're fragrant. Bees and butterflies love them. So this is also a nice plant for those of you who like pollinator gardens. So think about looking for this beautiful Henry's Garnet Virginia Willow in your nurseries, planted in your landscape in a nice sort of naturalistic area, and it will perform beautifully for you. It is not picky in the least. Forget it growing. I'm Dan Gill with the LSU Ag Center.
And for more information on other lawn and garden topics, contact your parish's LSU Ag Center Extension Service Office or visit the LSU Ag Center website at lsuagcenter.com and click on the Lawn and Garden button.
Extra, extra, read all about it. We're celebrating the summer with the best backyard barbecue in history. Michael and Mario are firing up the grill and making a smoky, mouth-watering meal that's really cooking. So be there or be square on The Chew.
The Chew, the best backyard barbecue in history. Airs Sunday at 5:30 on KLAX TV. Brought to you by Town & Country Meats, the best meat you'll ever eat. Here comes Mother's Day, and we want you to win a $200 gift card to Natchitoches Pecans. Just visit us online, on Facebook or Twitter. Click, register, and get ready to win. Enter daily through May 9th. It's time to win from Natchitoches Pecans and KLAX ABC 31.
Now to the historic vote on Capitol Hill. House Republicans passed their plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. This marks a big legislative win for President Trump and House Speaker Paul Ryan. ABC's Janae Norman is on Capitol Hill with what it means for American families.
A major win for President Trump.
And thanks to the leadership of President Donald Trump, welcome to the beginning of the end of Obamacare.
This is a repeal and a replace of Obamacare. Make no mistake about it.
House Republicans fulfilling their pledge to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act.
Are we going to be men and women of our word? Yes. Are we going to keep the promises that we made?
Yes. But is it a win for the American people? The latest ABC News Washington Post poll from last week showed just 37% of Americans say Obamacare should be repealed and replaced. 61% say it should be kept and fixed instead. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi saying Republicans are only making health care worse.
Does Trump care lower health costs? No. Does Trump care provide better health care?
The current bill that CBO previously estimated would mean 24 million Americans lose coverage over the next 10 years, phases out Obamacare subsidies in favor of tax credits to help Americans buy insurance, ends penalties over time for Americans without insurance, phases out the expansion of Medicaid, and allows states to opt out of the requirement that insurers cover basic health services like maternity care, mental health treatment, and even ambulances. But the fight isn't over. That bill, without its own score from the Congressional Budget Office, faces an uphill battle in the Senate.
You're walking the plank for what? A bill that will not be accepted by the United States Senate.
So many groups have come out against the GOP health care bill, from patient groups to health experts, even at least one big insurance company not for this plan, and it will be picked apart with a fine-tooth comb before senators cast their votes. Janae Norman, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, who will turn 96 next month, will step down from public life this fall, Buckingham Palace announced today. ABC's Molly Hunter is in London with the details.
It's the end of an era, a milestone the British people knew was coming. Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, 95 years old, will be putting his royal feet up this fall, retiring from the public eye. Seen today after the announcement with his wife, Queen Elizabeth, just by her side, like he so often is, supporting her as he has for decades.
Helping her, supporting her, doing anything that is valuable to her.
Overnight, a flurry of activity at the palace. That rumor mill churned into the wee hours. A big announcement was coming. We heard the Queen's most senior aides calling her staff together, even bringing those from Scotland into town. We saw the Queen yesterday returning to Buckingham Palace from Windsor Castle, and we saw Prince Philip too at a public engagement at a cricket club. The couple has been married 69 years, both in their 90s, still doing more events than any other member of the royal family. And it's taken its toll. Last Christmas, the pair coming down with heavy colds, and Prince Philip hospitalized several times over the last few years.
The palace is saying quite clearly it's not to do with his health, but at 96 he will be when he steps away. I think it's got to have an impact.
Now, the Queen has had him by her side for 70 years, tens of thousands of public appearances, and she'll soldier on alone, gradually cutting back and slowing down herself. But this likely means we'll see more younger royals stepping up and taking a little bit more of the load off the Queen. Molly Hunter, ABC News, London.
If you're hitting 96, I think you probably earned some retirement.
It's time to kick your feet up and enjoy life. That's for sure.
I'd say so.
Best wishes to them. That's for sure. But it looks like some great weather for the weekend. I know there's a lot going on around central Louisiana as far as fests going on and different things, and weather looking perfect for this time of year. May see some cooler temperatures for your Friday, much like we saw today. Highs in the upper 60s. Well below that normal of 83 degrees. But by the weekend, should get closer to normal around here with lots of sunshine and dry weather. We'll talk more about that when we come back.
Enter to win a $200 gift card to Dickens & Company, courtesy of KLAX TV. Visit us online on Facebook or Twitter and click register and get ready to win. Enter daily and share the post to increase your chances of winning. It's time to win from KLAX TV and Dickens & Company on Front Street, downtown Natchitoches.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Thursday evening to you. Some breezy conditions and cooler weather back in the area here for late this afternoon. High temperatures across much of Louisiana, even central Louisiana, into the mid to upper 60s late this afternoon. That's well below where we should be this time of year. Our normal high should be in the low 80s. And here's a look at those high temperatures from around the area. 63 up in Monroe late this afternoon, 67 in Natchitoches, 68 degrees here in Alexandria, 66 degrees in Baton Rouge, and 68 in Lake Charles. Outside right now, then we have partly cloudy skies to partly sunny skies, 67 degrees currently. Dew point, though, very dry, 43 degrees, but winds still a little gusty. Northwest winds at 20 miles per hour, but gusty as high as 30 to 35 as our pressure is holding steady. So for tonight, we'll drop back to near 50 with partly to mostly clear skies. Again, also on the cooler side, west-northwest winds do die down a little bit, still about 5 to 10 miles per hour as we head into the overnight hours of tonight. Now for our Friday then, looks like lots of sunshine back in the forecast and high temperatures a little bit warmer than we saw today. Should get back into at least mid-70s, but still cooler than average. We'll go for a high of 75 degrees. West-northwest winds will continue, though, at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and could see some of those gusts as high as 20 to 25 miles per hour throughout the day on our Friday. So what else can we expect to see? Well, lots of sunshine, pleasant, and again, a little bit warmer than we saw today, getting back into the mid-70s as we end our work week. Now, for the weekend, lots of sunshine around. We'll call it beautiful for Saturday, as temperatures once again, probably upper 70s, close to 80. And by the time we get to Sunday, that should be the warmest day of the weekend as we'll get back at least into the low to mid 80s, back to where we should be for this time of year. Again, lots of sunshine expected, and really going to keep that sunshine around over the next several days. Not seeing a lot of chances of rain, and that means some dry weather continuing here through much of central Louisiana as we get in not only the weekend, but really into early next week. Next 7 to 10 days, I don't see a lot of rain chances here, and we're going to keep that dry weather going and a lot of sunshine too as temperatures stay or eventually get above average here by the end of the weekend. High pressure in control of our weather, though. Some warmer weather back out in parts of western Texas. That'll get here eventually. We're going to still be in the cooler weather here for your Friday. Again, those cool winds will still bring in temperatures a little bit cooler than average, but a little bit warmer than we saw today. Mid-70s expected as we head into the afternoon hours of our Friday. Here's a very low temperatures from overnight tonight. Then we'll go back to 50 degrees in Boyce and 50 degrees the low temperature in Alexandria, and not for 49 degrees down in Bunkie and Marksville with partly cloudy skies, west winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. High temperatures back into the 70s. We'll go for mid-70s. Again, looking like mid-70s around much of central Louisiana, mostly sunny skies, pleasant and warmer northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. 7-day forecast showing temperatures getting back into the 80s for the weekend. Go for a high of 80 on Saturday, 84 by Sunday. And we do start to warm back up next week, though. Mid-80s expected, 86 by Tuesday. But again, next 7 days, no rain in the forecast. Looks like dry, pleasant, and sunny weather here over the next several days. Scott?
Thank you, Chris. A breast cancer diagnosis, one of the most harrowing things that a woman can experience. How can patients make sure they're making the best decisions about their treatment? With more, here's Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Breast cancer, 2 words from a doctor that for women lead to seemingly innumerable decisions, like whether or not to get a mastectomy or whether to opt for breast reconstruction surgery. Recent statistics suggest nearly 2 in 5 women who have a mastectomy choose to have breast reconstruction. But is this always the right choice? Researchers at Ohio State University surveyed 126 women undergoing mastectomies for breast cancer, asking them about personal preferences which might push them toward or away from surgery, focusing on their priorities when it came to things like breast shape and recovery time. What they found is that many women ended up choosing reconstruction even though it was not consistent with their personal goals, suggesting that they may have been better off with mastectomy alone. Bottom line, women with breast cancer who are considering mastectomy should have an honest conversation with their doctors about reconstruction surgery and whether it really fits with their goals. After all, it's your decision, so make it the right one for you. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
Experts say people without celiac disease should not avoid gluten. Many people without celiac disease have adopted a gluten-free diet as a way to improve their heart health, but a new study of more than 100,000 adults found eliminating gluten did not lower their long-term risk of heart disease. In fact, gluten-free diets reduce their consumption of whole grains, which are good for the heart. Coming up, NSU softball coach Donald Pickett talks about a must-win series this weekend against Central Arkansas. Plus, Joey Logano is being penalized for his win in Richmond on Sunday. Find out why next.
Inside LSU Baseball, brought to you by Randy Wiggins State Farm Agent and Take 5 Oil Change. Join us Sundays at 10 on KLAX TV.
For the NSU softball team, the math for making the conference tournament, well, it's easy. If they can take 2 out of 3 from Central Arkansas, the Lady Demons would guarantee itself a spot in the 6-team conference tournament. If not, they would need some help. Coach Donald Pickett said the team needs to head into this weekend with a single confident mindset.
If you're confident, you're going to give yourself the best chance at winning, and we've got to be that no matter what's going on during the series. We've got to be able to do that all the way through the series, and if we can do that, hopefully, things will go our way and we'll get those 2 wins. But, if not, that you gave it your best shot if you're going there with that mindset.
The NSU baseball team will also be at home this weekend. They'll be starting up a 3-game set against Incarnate Word. The Demons have won 3 of their last 5 and will look to improve on their 6-15 conference record. First pitch tomorrow night is set for 6:30. In the majors, the Astros dropped the final game in a 4-game series with the Rangers. Texas scored 4 in the first, and the Astros couldn't climb back. Marwin Gonzalez launched another home run in the loss, his 9th of the season. Good news, though, the Astros took 3 out of 4 in the series. NASCAR driver Joey Logano and his team, they're in a little bit of trouble today and are now facing disciplinary action from NASCAR after a post-race inspection following his win at Richmond on Sunday found his car had an illegal suspension. Logano will not be allowed to carry the 5 playoff points he won into the playoffs after that follow-up inspection found a violation with the car's suspension, specifically dealing with the trailing arm spacer and pinion angle shims that make it easier to drive through a corner. Logano's crew chief, Todd Gordon, was also suspended for 2 races and fined $50,000. In addition, Logano was docked 25 driver points for the violation. That will drop him from 4th to 5th in the standings. The world's #1 golfer, Dustin Johnson, will make his first start this weekend at the Wells Fargo Championship since he injured his lower back and had to withdraw from the Masters. Johnson going for his 4th straight victory, which would be the longest streak on the tour since old Tiger won 5 in a row in 2007. But Johnson said this may be a tough course to keep that streak alive.
The golf course is, in perfect condition. It's, fairways are perfect, greens are perfect. So, I really like the golf course. I think it's challenging, especially, the wind picks up. It's going to be very challenging.
And there's no arguing that LeBron James is one of the greatest players to ever lace up a pair of sneakers. Last night, after James scored 39 points in a win over Toronto, he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the 2nd place on all-time postseason scoring list. LeBron trails now just Michael Jordan by just 210 points for first in history. You gotta imagine LeBron possibly could pass that this year, if not, definitely passing it next year. I mean, he's probably could have upwards to, at least 8 to 10 more games this year. He puts up, 20, 30 points a game. He's getting pretty close. And then first round next year, before you know, LeBron James will be the all-time postseason scoring leader.
Yeah, you got to think.
Barring a serious injury.
Certainly if the Cavs make the finals, that seems like a slam dunk. If
exactly. And even if they don't, he's going to have next year and the year after. And again, barring a serious injury, it's going to happen.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
To us, it's just a pasta strainer, but to one pigeon, it's a nest. How this strange occurrence happens next on ABC 31 News.
When a case seems unsolvable, they see the incredible. Murder, motive, secrets, Bones Weekends.
Watch Bones Weekends on KLAX ABC 31.
A Brooklyn woman got an unusual surprise when she came home from a trip. A pregnant pigeon made itself at home and laid 2 eggs inside a pasta strainer in her apartment. The homeowner says she left a window slightly ajar, which was just enough to let mommy bird inside. She says she tried to hand the fledgling family off to an animal rescue organization, but no one was willing to take in a single mom, only orphans. That's when she decided to go ahead and let mama bird and the babies stay until they decided to fly the coop. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.
Our military makeover recognizes the sacrifice of a deserving young Marine.
Tune in and learn about an American hero, the community and the companies who come together to give back.
What made me physically change? Anger, extreme anger. Whenever my anger mounts up, When the metamorphosis happens, I don't even know what it does. That means it's uncontrollable.
The Incredible Hulk
on MeTV Alexandria.